They had what?
Trump had a bad night, or maybe a weird one. While it's been dutifully noted how insane Trump was and is, Tiny Fingers continues to descend into his own special madness. Perhaps it's been accelerated by the still unfolding stories of Trump, Epstein, and underage girls.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Or whatever Putin has on him to make him turn his back on Zelensky, Ukraine, and NATO.
No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
But now, Trump truly believes,
I want to be a dictator.
I mean, we are on the edge of a dark precipice where the rule of law doesn't exist, at least at the federal level.
So the latest is Pouty Fuckwinkle has declared war on mail-in ballots and voting machines again.
Mail-in ballots is going to be a great embarrassment to our country.
Trump has long opposed voting by mail or electronically and has long claimed widespread voter fraud due to the systems. Trump said recently that Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed that mail-in voting is not honest. Trump blasted voting machines as highly inaccurate. He also noted that his orders are justified because the executive branch has power over the states. Experts believe voter fraud is very rare in the United States and almost never actually influences an election's outcome.
He got up today and his sickness oozed out of his mouth in an early morning rant, attacking next year's midterm elections. And unlike his lies, the polls show Republicans are hip-deep in trouble. Gallup, USA Today, and Quinnipiac polls have Republicans in deep trouble, losing anywhere between 20 and 50 seats. So early this morning, in a Covfefe moment, Trump bloviated a nearly 300-word tirade on Truth Social, vowing to end mail-in voting through an executive order after claiming that Russian President Vladimir Putin had told him it cost him the 2020 election. Remember that.
I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, and also, while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines, which cost 10 times more than accurate and sophisticated watermark paper, which is faster and leaves no doubt at the end of the evening as to who won and who lost the election. We are now the only country in the world that uses mail-in voting. All others gave it up because of the massive voter fraud encountered.
Okay, that's bullshit. Dozens of other countries use mail-in voting. These countries include Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, Australia, Switzerland, and oh yeah, Trump votes by mail too. And he's a convicted felon.
We will begin this effort, which will be strongly opposed by the Democrats because they cheat at levels never seen before, by signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm elections.
Of course, Trump continues to lie about the 2020 election and blames it on many things, of which zero have been substantiated, even after 60 court rulings prove that he lost. But you like irony? Trump said Putin told him that you can't trust mail-in ballots. Putin, the guy who poisons his opponents when he's not throwing them off buildings. Why would Trump listen to Putin? That's a good question. Is Putin funding Trump? It wouldn't be the first time.
I remember very clearly what he said. He said, no, we don't need American banks. We have all the funding we need out of Russia.
And of course, remember this? The Russia hoax.
The Russia hoax is finally dead.
There is zero debate that Russia interfered in the 2016 election. Ask Trump's current director of national intelligence, or even ask the fat boy himself. Russia interfered.
We need to stop these other foreign countries, and Russia's not the only one, there are others, from trying to influence the American people in our elections.
I accept our intelligence community's conclusion that Russia's meddling in the 2016 election took place.
Their assessment of 2016 is accurate. It's 100% accurate. The Russians interfered in our elections. Not only that, I believe they will do so again in the future.
So here's what Trump's fading cognitive matter is planning. Trump wants to stop mail-in voting and force people, most notably people of color and the elderly, to go to the polls, where he'll have ICE and the National Guard pull people aside and force them to prove that they're U.S. citizens, even detaining U.S. citizens who tell them justifiably to go fuck themselves. This will have a tremendous impact on turnout, and even if it doesn't and MAGA loses, Trump will again cry wolf and stop the newly elected from being sworn in. We know this because Mike Johnson is his little bitch. So the question is, will the Supreme Court step in and support the bullshit they've been saying for decades, that is the states who have the final say in running their own elections?
Nevada Speaker of the House Steve Yeager responding to President Trump's executive order on federal elections in a statement saying in part, quote, The legislature will not consider any of the demands the president made in his order because Nevada's elections are the responsibility of Nevadans. But Republican Nevada Assemblywoman Danielle Gallant believes the move could boost voter confidence.
Even though there was no proof of widespread election fraud in the 2020 election, over 70% of Americans believe something funny went down and they don't trust our election process.
She says the way the system is set up, voters still have enough time to cast their votes. The Nevada State Director for All Voting is Local, Carrie Dermick, however, is worried the impact the executive order can have on the curing process as well, since that's allowed up to 6 days after Election Day. Dermick says any changes could also have financial implications.
We would have to come together as a state and completely change the way we're implementing our elections, which would be very expensive and costly.
There is no poll showing 70% think something was funny. It doesn't exist. And even if it did, it's only because Trump and Fox News lie consistently every day.
We welcome independent journalists.
And federal courts have been quite clear. States can conduct their elections in the manner which serve their citizens best. But Trump's paranoia and big worry is that should he lose the House, he will again be impeached. And of course, with the still unfolding Epstein drama in his head, could there be enough Republicans in the Senate to remove him? Not likely, but who knows? Trump is again spewing lies about the elections, and his MAGA base, equally insane, is backing him.
The mail-in voting, we're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it.
See, every American citizen has a right to vote, and each state runs its own election. So what Donnie Wafflecock is proposing is the first step in how we lose free and fair elections.
Now, we got to stop mail-in voting.
And as I just pointed out, it's not that Trump will cancel the midterms, although that is still an option should he declare martial law. It's just that forcing everyone to vote in person, the polling stations will be filled with ICE checkpoints and intimidating National Guard troops to double check that only citizens vote. A problem that is not a problem.
But how common is voter fraud really? Between 2000 and 2014, only 31 incidents were found among more than 1 billion ballots cast. Meaning, winning an Olympic gold medal is actually more likely than one incident of voter fraud. Or hitting the same color on the roulette wheel 20 times in a row? Yep, that's even more likely than voter fraud. In fact, becoming a saint is more likely. Yet, in a continuing effort to combat voter fraud, 14 states have passed new laws in place for the first time in a presidential election. These restrictions make it harder for citizens, specifically people of color, to cast a ballot.
Simply put, feds don't run elections. States organize and municipalities hold elections, tabulate, and then report to the state. The federal government is an observer of elections. That's how it was designed, to prevent what Trump is trying to do. Trump has lost his fucking mind, and the ramifications of losing the 2026 midterms, he can't handle it. And Trump needs Congress, because as he posts every day on his True Social account, he's running again in 2028, and he needs this MAGA in place to do it.
Goddamn right.
It's sitting on my desk.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Do you have no shame?
Are you not entertained?
Jeffrey Epstein?
They don't know what the they're doing.
I could be a stupid person.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.